The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Okay, hi everybody. Hey everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going?
Maria, we can't hear you.
Okay, hold on. I'm fixing the microphone. Can you hear it now, Jimmy?
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Just adjusted the mic. Hi everybody, this is live radio, so anything can happen. This is Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's everybody doing? Okay, so tonight is March 12th, and let me see. We have Krista Piero has come in. Rena Cugnali-Bergi has come in, my cousin from Massachusetts. Rena, you're going to like the show. It's a Boston-focused show. Michael Bowe has called in. Leslie Orfino. Marie Sullivan-Baca has joined us. Patricia Kilty has joined us, and I'm so glad because she's going to be calling in at 9:15. Mike Callahan has joined. John Pandish has joined us. A bunch of people. And my two dogs are in the studio audience tonight, as well as my best friend, Susan Campanero. So, Jeannie Craig. Hi, Jeannie Craigie. We were Facebooking today. Jeannie, there's a lot happening. Why am I doing this show? So there's always a method to my madness, and let me just explain it to you. So I like to look at the calendar, and sometimes I look at what my friends are doing, and I want to promote their shows. And this particular week, there was nothing coming up on the horizon. So sometimes I book people well in advance, and sometimes something tells me to just let it be, and I'll get my idea as the week goes on. And so what I did was I let it just be what it was, and I realized that St. Patty's Day is coming up. Now, hi, Julie Cesari has joined us. Myron Lockett, I saw Myron last night at Trent Armand Kendall's beautiful tribute, and we're going to try to talk about that at the end of the show as well. There's so much going on, and there's so much that I want to say. Meg Dicey has joined us, and just talk about, and just bring it full circle. So, it's St. Patty's Day is coming up this Saturday, I believe, is the 17th. Oh, no, it's this Sunday. Now, it's funny because in New York, it's so diverse here that there's so many people. Brian Johnson has joined us from Massachusetts. And so, we have a lot of different parades that happen all the time, and there's a lot of different things that we celebrate. In Boston, where I grew up, it's funny because we joke and we say, if you weren't Italian, then you must be Irish. And if you weren't Irish, then you must be Italian. Like, all our friends were either Italian or Irish. So those of us that were Italian got just as involved in the Irish St. Patty's Day parades as the Irish kids did, because we hung out with them and we partied, we went to the parades, all that stuff. We did all that crazy stuff. And when we would have big holidays, like at the feasts in the North End, all our Irish friends would come to those Italian feasts. So we really intermingled a lot. And so it's funny because when the holiday comes up, I have two thoughts. One is I really miss my Boston people during St. Patty's week. It's crazy, but I do, because I don't know, we used to like it. I went to Catholic school, so we used to celebrate it and all those saints' days and all that stuff. But when I was partying back in the day, it was my mother's least favorite holiday because I was always in trouble on that day. So I'm just going to throw that out to my mother in heaven. Ma, don't worry, none of that is going on. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't drink at all anymore for many, many years, almost 30 years. But when it happens, it's funny, when this holiday comes up, I always get really excited for some reason. Now, everybody that knows me knows I love food, and the Irish are not known for their cuisine. I will say that. However, I did, and I'll show you at the end of the show, I did make a traditional Irish meal for us tonight. So, okay, thinking about Boston and all this stuff all this nostalgic stuff came up, right? And how much fun my friends and I used to have, and at the parades and all the different kinds of things. I started thinking about where I grew up, and then one of my high school friends, out of the blue, Facebooked me and said, "Hey, my husband's band is playing on the 22nd. Are you going to be back in Massachusetts by any chance? And you could come see him." And I said, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm not going to be there. However, I'll plug it. I'll promote it." And I said, "Why don't you call in and talk about your husband's band?" She's like, "No, we're kind of shy." But my son is a rapper. I was like, "Your son's a rapper?" I mean, they're Irish, so I didn't put the two and two together. I mean, there's Eminem, but for the most part, the rappers I know are of color. Hispanic, African American, Caribbean. I was like, wow, that's really cool. So, as I said, the only one I know, Irish, traditional Irish rapper is like Eminem. So anyway, I got in contact with her son, and he's really cool. He's this really, really cool guy. And we talked, and he sent me all these different links to his songs on Spotify, and I really like it. I really, really like this guy, and he's really like a great kid. But he's not a kid. I mean, he's an adult now, but because I went to school with his mother, it's like, to me, that everybody's a kid. So anyway, and the other cool part is that my friend Patricia Kilty, who lives in Massachusetts and is a local in Stoneham, where I went to high school, she's really big locally because she's very involved in the arts. And she's one of these people that just, hi, Tim Devlin. It's going to be a Boston show, so I think you'll be interested. Tim Devlin is one of our Boston buddies, too. He lives in New York, but we always talk about that. So anyway, Patricia Kilty, when I associate, like someone that really pulls for the home team, it's her. And her daughter and I, actually, both her daughters and her son and I went to high school together. We were in different classes and different ages, but we were, local kids. And I saw this week that Patricia posted about our football team, and they won the Super Bowl, our Stoneham Spartans. I was so excited. So I thought, wait a minute, I know what I'm going to do this week. I am going to do a Boston local show about local, and that's why I'm calling this show Local Artists and Angels, because there are those of us that are artists that do what we do, and we're in it every day and trying to create and make new things, and then hopefully people will enjoy. And then there's people like Patricia that are those angels and winds in our sails that keep things going and make sure that the theaters are running. She's on the board at the Greater Boston Theater there, and I'll have her tell you all about it. But she's always keeping me updated on what's happening. Joseph Hunter has joined us. Hi, Joe Hunter. How are you? So I just thought, I grew up in the North End, but then we moved out more towards the North Shore of Massachusetts. And Jimmy, our producer and engineer, he's from Woburn, so we were like, we understand that local talent. Johnny Tomorrow has joined us. Johnny Tomorrow is going to be on our show next week, by the way. So I'm very much looking forward to that, swinging the pendulum in the complete other direction of the Italians. So, but as we said in Massachusetts, you're either Italian or you're Irish. So those are the two pendulums. And anyway, so I thought, this is what I'm going to do for this week's show. I'm going to talk about what it was like growing up in that community where we had a tremendous amount of theater. Our parents were very, very, very supportive of what we did. Teresa Pepe has joined us. Hi, Teresa. Hamster for life. Jeannie Craig writes Hamster for life. Right. It's like, you're always helping each other out. You're always pulling for your local kids and your local teams. And, I was fortunate enough to grow up in different communities. I grew up in the North End, and that was like all Italians, and an amazing community. And I'm still friends with all of those people. Then we moved to like Medford Somerville line, which was right near Tufts College, and that's where I started doing children's theater at 10, and got a scholarship to the Tufts program there, and that's where my love of theater came from. For 5 seasons, Richard Koch has joined us. Hi, Richard. He's an incredible photographer. So for 5 seasons, I did theater there, and I met other local kids from all walks of life, and my horizons broadened even more. And then we moved to Stoneham. You know, as your parents hopefully do better in life, they want you to have a better life, so they moved to different places. I mean, I went to Catholic school up until 10th grade. And then in 10th grade, we moved, because my parents bought a house in Stoneham, and we moved there. And that's where they had an amazing theater department. Amazing. So I was in the Spartan Chorale, which is, we went to the White House the year of my graduation. It was like an incredible, we did plays, constantly doing plays and musicals, and I'm friends with all those people, and so much of what I learned was from the musical director there. Frank Abrahams, who I had the good fortune to see again. We did a fundraiser for our high school after many years. And so we all got together. And that's where I ran into a lot of my old buddies, you know, from these reunions. And I was just reminiscing about that a lot and how important that is on that level, you know, to be involved in theater. And our parents were all involved in it, made costumes, helped us sell tickets, made cookies for bake sales. I mean, that doesn't happen as much in New York because, like I said, it's like so many people here and it's so diverse and there's so many different schools. But in these small suburban communities, there's a lot of that. And I really feel that I took that with me. You know, I still have all that hometown love with me. And so now I teach in a beautiful community in Morristown, New Jersey, called the Male Performing Arts Center. And so much of what I learned, you know, in my school days, I carry, you know. So, yeah, Brian Johnson has chimed in. He's a local guy, and he said Frank was awesome. He really was awesome, and he is awesome. He's in California now, and so much of what we did. And then there was this company called Stoneham Summer Theater that we, the local kids that graduated, were like, now what do? We want to keep doing theater. So we started Stoneham Summer Theater, SST, and we launched it from nothing. And did shows every summer. And that was incredible. And I was involved in that for a long time. Hi, Michael Vaccaro. How are you? So, anyway, so that's what got me feeling very nostalgic about hometown artists and angels. That's why I call the show this. So, you know, I always have to go with my heart. Like, it's hard for me to do what I'm not feeling. I mean, I can, you know, pull things together. But this week I really was feeling that I wanted to give props, shout outs, love back to my hometown, the North End, Medford, Somerville line there, and Stoneham, where I grew up. Hi, Mary. Mary's joined us, so I'm so glad to see you. A lot of this happened because you texted me about your husband's band, which, by the way, if you don't mind, Mary, I would love it if you typed in after TREVi calls in. Maybe at the end you can type in where your husband is playing and the date. I know it's March 22nd. This is how this all started. Mary texted me and told me about the band playing, and I really wanted to go. So we'll let us know about Kyle's band. So now we got Pat Kilty's going to be calling in any second. So maybe I'll call her and see. Make sure she has my number. She's going to be calling in, and we're going to talk about the the Greater Boston Theater. So let's see if we can get a hold of Pat. Okay, I'm going to call her right now. All right, so, and again, we're talking about a local talent and where it starts, and then growing from there, you know. Things like that. So I'm hoping that she picks up the phone here. Or maybe she's gonna. Pat, all right. Maybe we'll get her. So Pat, listen, if you're listening, please call in. I don't know, maybe she fainted from the excitement because I know that she was so excited that she kept. First she was nervous. She's like, what am I going to talk about? I said, there's a million things that you're going to talk about. Don't worry about it. And then she started posting all these she was very excited about calling in. So I'm hoping, Jeannie, get a hold of Pat. Let's see if she can call in. All right. So anyway, also we have a parade in St. Patty's Day Parade is happening, I think, Saturday. It's this Saturday in New York City as well. All right, she'll have to call back. So, okay, Jeannie, are you on it? Yes. Funny, Jeannie's our mutual friend. Yeah, Pat's supposed to call in at 9:15, so I don't know. Like I said, Jeannie, maybe she fainted from excitement. Anyway, Mary, why don't you post your husband's... I know he's playing, his band is playing. I went home for a reunion over the summer, or maybe it was the summer. And it was amazing. We had the most amazing time, and the local bands there, and a lot of them are like guys that I went to high school with that are still playing. Keep calling goes to voicemail? All right, I'm going to call you, Pat. I'm going to call you now and pick up the phone, okay? So, all right. But see this? We have all these different mediums. Oh, here she is. Okay. Hi, sweetheart. Is that you, Pat?
Are you there?
Oh my God. Okay, we have solved the mystery. Okay, this is Pat Kilty, everybody. He is my friend from Stoneham. Pat, say hi to your radio audience.
Hello, everybody out there in the big wide world, right?
The big wide world.
Not that you're on podcasting, you're all over the place.
I know.
How you doing?
I'm great, sweetheart. You know, it's so funny. I was just, Jeannie Craig is watching, and I just said, Jeannie, please call Pat and tell her to call in. So she...
I started it, and I said, you kept going to voicemail. No big deal. Here I am, and how are you?
I'm fantastic, sweetheart. I am fantastic, and so I want the reason that I wanted you to call in, many reasons. First of all, I always miss you, and I love hanging out with you. You're a lot of fun when I come home. I like that we go for lunch. What's that? Your favorite place there, Pignoni's?
We go to Dave Pignon's place, right?
Yeah, that is such a great little local place, and a shout out to Dave Pignon's place on Main Street in Stoneham.
Right on Main Street, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I noticed that you posted about the Stoneham Spartans. Tell me what happened there.
Can you imagine? We had pretty much a perfect season until I almost shouldn't even tell you this.
No, tell me.
Thanksgiving Day. On Thanksgiving, we played our traditional rival.
Reading. Yeah.
And we got killed.
What?
However, it was not a league game. We had already won their first level of championships. And so, in the Middlesex League, we went to Patriot Stadium to play for the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I'd never been there before. Patriot Place or whatever the heck they call it.
Wow.
And it was absolutely overwhelming.
Oh my God.
To me it was overwhelming.
Yeah, me too.
I always have to tell people that the naive person that I am, when we were going to our seats, and the stadium is massive. I mean, it's tiers high. I looked up on the field and I said, oh, this is just a football field. It's the same size as the high school.
Oh, okay.
And it just, of course, I know a football field is 100 yards, right? But it was still, for some stupid reason, certainly is a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
It was the same size.
Pat, hold on for 1 second. Hold 1 second, because my cousin Marisa has just come on. Marisa, I got Pat Kilty on the phone from Stoneham. She was just telling me about the Stoneham Spartans. And they won the football. They won the Super Bowl of high school football this year. And that is very impressive. Now, Pat, I want you to, for me, you were just always this great mom. I went to high school with your kids. You were always involved in theater. And now you're really involved on a bigger level. So I want you to talk about that, the theater that you're involved in and how you're involved with it. Go ahead, sweetie.
Well, of course, we used to call it Stoneham Theater, but we have gone through a rebranding process, and it's now known as the Greater Boston Stage Company. And I have been actively involved since its inception. Very, very proudly, I must say.
I know, and I love that about you.
To be part of it. I'm on the board I've served on several committees, overseen a lot of fundraising, and in fact, our next fundraising event will be on May 4th, which is Kentucky Derby Day.
Really?
And so obviously we're doing a Kentucky Derby theme.
Oh, I love that.
The theater is wonderful. It is a professional theater. Not everybody really understands.
It's an equity theater, isn't it? It's an equity theater.
Equity theater. Yeah, but because it's small and it's in Stoneham, which is, not the, much as we love Stoneham, it's not the
Well, it's not.
coolest.
Well, it's not the center of Boston. It's like it's on the outskirts. It's about 10 miles north. So you're right.
So people tend to think that it's just another little local theater, but it's not. I say to people, it's the same as going to New York City and Broadway.
Absolutely.
It's the same principle.
Well,
it's a professional equity theater.
now I will tell you something, Pat. I worked with a gentleman a few weeks ago. His name is James Scheider, and he is actually coming to the Stoneham. To the greater. It's called the Greater Boston Theater.
Greater Boston Stage Company. Yes,
Stage Company.
Greater Boston. Yeah.
Greater Boston, and
In what production?
in $1 Million Quartet.
Oh my God!
I know, and he was on Broadway, so he is a Broadway guy. He plays. I'm going to have him look for you. He plays Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, how exciting!
I know, and
I'm looking at the ad now, and the little caricature of Jerry Lee Lewis. It looks like him.
Yeah, he does, and I'm going to give the dates. His name is James, James, Scheider, Scheider. Okay,
I will make it my business to find him, to meet him, and say hello.
He's a sweetheart, and they're going to be there from April 25th through May 19th.
Yeah, a good solid 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably already close. Not sold out, but damn close.
Yeah, I'm sure. So if you Boston...
That's what the people like. And I got to tell you, Maria, that we were talking about Spartan Corral and the arts program at the high school, which kind of flipped in more recent years.
Yeah.
And the Spartan Corral reunion really... the new superintendent really impressed, and I think that they have reinstituted or have added to the elementary level art program.
Wow, that makes me so happy, Pat.
But hopefully it'll move forward. But in the meantime, one of the things that so wonderful at Greater Boston Stage, our education program, which we developed maybe a year or two into the theater's existence. And it is absolutely knock your socks off.
I know, honey. I know you guys are doing amazing work, and it's really...
Second grade through high school, so it's just grand. And I never realized the importance of theater. It's like playing football. It's a team effort.
Absolutely, 100%.
Than to memorize your lines.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Pat.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree with you more. Well, listen, honey, I love you so much. I can't even tell you. I really do. I love you. You're my friend for life. And I thank you so much for everything you're doing over there on a local level. But what I want to tell people is that these local...
It all begins at home.
Absolutely. As my cousin Marisa and I always talk about, it's like act locally, think globally. I think we say that's the saying. And you're a perfect example of that. And I really appreciate your effort.
Yeah, we just all do the best we can. That's all.
I know, honey.
Do it the best you can.
I know.
Thank you for letting me.
Anytime, Pat.
I'm so excited.
Oh my God! And I'm going to tell my friend James to look for you. Okay? He's the sweet guy.
I'll be there 2 or 3 times, I'm sure, working with the volunteer group, and then I'll be there as a patron. But I will make it my business to meet him. Trust me.
Okay, honey. I know. I do trust you. And when I see you, listen. This time lunch is on me. We're going to Pignoni's. Okay?
Okay. Okay, you got it.
All right, love you, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Maria.
Okay, that was the absolutely wonderful Pat Kilty. So, as I said, Pat Kilty's kids and I went to high school together. I wanted to shout out people who are joining us. Wonderly White, Anthony Fett, Elena Ponte Feliciano has joined us. Darius Frana, hi Darius. We did something great last night, and I'm gonna try to talk about that at the end of the show. Susie's in the studio audience. She's gonna help me. Hi Richard Skipper, how are you, honey? And okay, Mary, thank you. So Mary Reardon is telling me that the Kramers, her husband's band, are playing at the Lord Wakefield in the Lounge, Lakeside Tavern, March 22nd, 8 p.m. So if you are in that area, in the North Shore of Boston, they are a great band. They're called the Kramers, playing at the Lord Wakefield in the Lounge, Lakeside Tavern, March 22nd, 8 p.m. That is a local band playing great music. Please go and see them. And if you do, and you found out about it here, please tell them Maria sent us, okay? Maria Gentili. Because Mary and I went to high school together, and she was just a sweetheart. And we just had such a great, hi, Leah Malloy, how are you? We had a great high school class, and we worked together. You know, like what Pat Kilty was talking about is that exactly that. We worked together, and when you do theater or you're in sports, hi Cheryl Giuliano, how are you, sweetie? She just checked in from LA. When you work in theater or you're in a sports team or a dance company, when you're working in groups, I can't stress this enough to people that have kids, or if you're an adult and you're looking for something to do, you want to reconnect with other human beings. I can't say enough about that. Like in Morristown, tomorrow, where I teach at the Mayo Performing Arts Center, tomorrow, Darius Frowner and I, because we teach together as well as performing downtown, we have our adult show tomorrow night, and these amazing people that are, by day are moms or paralegals or real estate agents, whatever they're doing, they get to really shine, But so that's one part of it, that you get to shine when you're in sports or when you're in theater. The long term, that's the short term. The long term is that you build a community of friends where you've had similar experiences. Okay, so people are checking in. Hector Garcia, hi, hola Maria. Hugs to you. Hi, Hector Garcia, how are you, my love? I think you guys are back in Miami, right? Hector and George are married. I was at their wedding. It was wonderful. And now George, I know, is doing amazing art. He's a visual artist now. And so if you guys are ever going to be back in New York, please, Hector, tell me. Oh, you know who's calling in now? Hi, Gene Simpson Dunn has called. I checked in. This is a local artist named TREVi. Hold on a second. Trev, hold on, buddy. Can you hear me, honey?
Yes, I can. How you doing, Maria?
I'm doing great, sweetheart. I'm going to ask you to just bring up your voice a tiny bit. Okay, so everybody, I just want to let you know, this is TREVi. Am I saying it right?
Right.
Okay. Just like the fountain. All right, that's what I was going to ask you. So let me just introduce everybody to you, and then that was one of my questions. So this is TREVi, and what he is a rapper. Now, anybody that knows me knows that that's not usually something like I listen to on long term. Like I like certain artists. Like we were talking today, I love Biggie is my favorite. I like Tupac. I kind of like the old school rappers. I love Drake. Those are my guys. And so I got connected with TREVi through his mom, believe it or not, who's a friend of mine. And she said, my son's a rapper. I was like, he is? So, and then he and I got connected, and he sent me, hi, Gina Savino. Gina Savino's my cousin from, she's a local girl. She's from Revere, and she has a salon, 132 Ferry Street in Everett. It's called Joyce's Unisex Salon. Susie, will you clap, please? Because when Gina comes on, we clap. Yay! Yay! Gina Savino. Okay. So that done. Sorry, TREVi, I had to interrupt. So TREVi is this rapper that I sent me his music, and I was really, really, really blown away. And I'm not just saying that. So we'll talk about your music in a minute. But TREVi, first of all, tell me why you chose the name TREVi.
So it originally originated from I took a personal spring breaks to Italy to visit one of my best friends. And it was about the time I was making music. I decided to skip a week of school and head over there, and we needed to come up with a bass name, so that ended up sticking.
And now the Trevi Fountain, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. I went to Rome.
Now, you know, I was in Rome last summer. Did you know? I didn't tell you that, but when we were talking, and I have a picture in front of the Trevi Fountain with my Patriots shirt on. So
You're gonna have to send that my way.
I'm gonna have to send it your way. Now, I gotta tell you, Honey Bunny, and we've never met, and like I said, I know your mom and I love your mom, but I know that, I mean, another reason why I love what you're doing is because you and I think alike in that sports-minded Boston way. I'm a huge, even though I've lived in New York almost 30 years, I'm a huge fan of the Celtics, the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, and those are my teams. And in your music, which we're going to talk about how people can find it in a minute, Trevi references he talks about teams and he talks about sports, and one of the lines in one of your songs is "bleeding green," in reference to the Celtics, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I look at music the way I look at sports my entire life. I take away Boston in general, sports and sports. Everything is a competition, and I definitely enjoy sports references across all four sports. But specifically, the Boston one's definitely
Absolutely.
It's a song called Marcus Smart.
I want to talk about this right now. Just bring your voice up a tiny bit, honey. For some reason, it's just not coming through as loud as I would like it to, and I want to make sure you're picked up. So now the Marcus Smart. Okay, so I wrote down the song. I mean, I love all the songs you sent me, but I got to tell you, like that. My favorite one is I wrote it down. Is "There for Me." I love that song. So we definitely have to tell people how to get a hold of this. But this Marcus Smart song, I want you to now. Marcus Smart, tell everybody what you meant by. It's called Marcus Smart, right?
Yeah, it's called Marcus Smart. The idea for the song originated when I went down to visit some friends in Dallas, and I met another rapper down there who actually went to high school with Marcus Smart and played basketball with him. His name is Flyboy D-Bone, and wanted to make a song together, and that seemed like a really great team. And Marcus Smart is a basketball player. If anyone knows how he plays the game, he's just the ultimate grinder. He dives on every ball on the floor. He takes the charges. He does all the little things. The chorus goes that I got heart like Marcus Smart.
I got heart like Marcus Smart. I love that. I listened to it like 4 times in a row. I loved it. It just stuck in my head, and I'm like, that is so great. And the thing is, I don't know if it's just a Boston thing, but we are really scrappy. Like, Boston people are really scrappy. And we love our teams because they're scrappy too.
Exactly.
And that comes through in your music. It really does. Now, I want you to know that I have my Celtic shirt on tonight because of you. I got my Celtic shirt on. Now, I will say, though, it's an old shirt, so it's a Rondo shirt because he was my favorite player back in the day. So I got... Yeah, that's why I loved him. He was totally scrappy. And my dog Rizzo has her Celtic shirt on tonight, and I can't grab her now because I need my hand to hold the phone, but I'll grab her later. She is wearing her Kevin Garnett shirt, which I bought her that same season. So, I love the Celtics too, and I always look on your Facebook page, and you guys have been to a lot of games. Now, you said that you met Marcus Smart? Did you get...
No, I haven't personally met him.
But he heard your music, right?
Yeah, so the artist that I did the song with, we went to high school with him, and he ended up sending the song, and he liked the video that we posted. So that was a cool thing.
Wow. Now, okay, tell everybody how they can find you.
So you can find me on Spotify Spotify or Apple Music. If you search TREVi and
Spell that, Trev. Spell it.
TREVi.
TREVi.
Yep. And then if you also search like one of the songs along with it, like you could search Marcus Smart or the first mixtape I did, which was called Library Lines.
Yeah, let me just tell people, okay, I want to piggyback on what you're saying. I've written everything down because it's important that you have everything written because sometimes there's so much music out there and there's similar names and stuff that it's sometimes hard to find people, but I want you to find Trev. So, one of his songs is called There For Me. Then you look up Library Lines, just like it sounds. And then another song is I Got Us. I love that song, by the way. And that also, I love that song. And that also references sports again.
Yeah.
So cool. What's the line you say, I got us, like, and it's a reference to basketball.
I got us. If I'm being honest, this girl is a goddess. Never wanted to date, but like Joel Embiid, I trusted the process. And that's the Philly team.
I love it. I love it.
Trust the process.
I love all the sports references. It's so cool. And then there's Marcus, the Marcus Smart song. So Trev told me earlier that if you just go to Spotify and type in Library Lines, and then once you find one of his songs, they're all kind of connected, like they come in a row. That's how I noticed that they're all like in a row, and then you can listen to them. So, and another thing I wanted to tell you that I really love about your music is that, especially the first one, There For Me, is that what you talk about, and I don't want to give too much of it away because I want you folks to go and listen to his music. What I love in There For Me is that you reference, because you're also, is it okay if I say what you do for a living?
Yes.
Okay, so he is also an engineer. And your mom said that on your bio it says the only rapper that has an engineering degree?
Yep, that's correct.
I mean, that's so cool. So that's like, that puts you in a different category. Everybody's got their backgrounds, and that's your background. So what I really liked about There For Me is that you talked about like that real, that angst and that like fear of like having to achieve, having to stay where you were, and studying for finals, and all that goes with that, and the real high stress that comes with that. And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times in my songs, especially that one that you referenced there For Me, I really just like to talk about my life and how real situations are.
Right.
A lot of times, rappers portray themselves in a different way than they actually are. When I'm there Monday through Friday, just like everybody else, where they actually have to have a job and make real money to pay their bills. And so every day I wake up in the morning, I got to put my hard hat on and head to the job site as an engineer.
Right.
And after a 12-hour day, I put the hard hat over for a snapback and head back to the studio.
I love it.
My life is just, there's all the different hats you want to wear.
Absolutely.
You really control what you want to be.
And you know what? What you're talking about is I've been talking about this on my show a lot. Like, the show is about creative people, and I always say the reality of what that means. It doesn't mean that every night we're on stage and people are throwing money at us. It means that we have our art, and we have our day jobs, and we have our real lives, and we have families, and we got to pay our car insurance, and like real things are happening. And I love that about your music. It comes through in your music, and I really, when you were talking about in that one song in There For Me, when you referenced the Adderall, like, I thought that was really powerful stuff, because a lot of kids that are, and not just kids, adults go back to school. I have friends that are in their 40s and 50s that have gone back to school and are getting their masters and are freaking out, and it's just that grind, that we're like that high pressure of all of that. and you really talked about that, and I just wanted to say that I really appreciated that.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you referenced earlier, my mixtape is called Library Lines, which is a double entendre talking about the library wanting to focus on school and having to study drugs in order to competition that schools give us.
Right.
And there's so much pressure on you at a school that costs $60,000 a year. You have to get a good job immediately right out of school. But at the same time, people want to do things that they want to do, and whether that's creating music or playing sports or doing art or anything that isn't your kind of their dream that they follow.
Yep.
And it's hard to balance.
It really is, and I love that you brought that to light. So, okay, so we want everybody, please do me a favor. You have to look up TREVi. And the best way to do it that I've found, for me, like if you go to Spotify, that's the best way to do it. Go to Spotify and type in Library Lines, or type in There For Me, I Got Us, Marcus Smart. They're all going to come up. And then his songs will be together. So anyway, Trev, I can't oh, and also Trev Likes Music, right? The hashtag Trev Likes Music, right? Trev Likes Pictures.
Yeah, so on Instagram, and I'd say Instagram is probably my biggest platform where I promote all my music and everything that I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's at Trev Likes Pictures.
Okay.
Currently, I'm actually in a competition that ends tomorrow night. A company called New England Mixtapes to perform at the Middle East in Boston. So people go and see on my Instagram that they can vote for me competition or to win the competition. So the winner of the next out of these 5 people from the Middle East, the venue of 575 people. So it would be.
Okay, so that's tomorrow night, and the people can still come. And where is that again?
That would be at the Middle East at the end of the month, but the competition runs through until tomorrow night.
Okay, so everybody go to Trev Likes Picture on Instagram at Trev, TREV, Likes, LIKE, Pictures, PICTURES. Go there and you will find Trev. Thank you, Honey Bunny, so much. I look forward to meeting you, and God bless you, because you are on the right track.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I just want to give a quick shout out to my producer and one of my best friends.
Go ahead, honey.
So he been starting with me the whole journey, and he did pretty much all my beats along the entire way.
Wow, and they're great.
If you like my music, you got to check out his stuff too.
Okay, fantastic. And thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you someday, okay?
I do as well. Thank you, Maria.
Oh, you're so welcome. Give your mother a hug for me.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, bye, sweetheart. Okay. What a nice, nice, nice boy. Well, he's a man. But to me, as I said, everybody's like a kid. Now, because, of course, when you get older, Janine Molinari has joined us. Well, Shep Pamplin, Leah Sutton has joined us, John Bell. Now, I got to show you, because I was telling Trev, he's a big Celtics fan, Boston fan. My little Rizzo is behind me because that's where she likes to sit. And she is wearing her Celtic shirt tonight. Riz, show everybody your Celtic shirt. I have mine on, too. She's a little shy tonight. She's just, like, sleepy. So we have our Celtic shirts on tonight. London is also here. Dog, and she is not wearing her Celtic shirt. She is wearing pink, though, and she looks beautiful. I feel like London, maybe at the end of the show we'll put you on camera, too. What do you think? Anyway, so it's let's go to the section of our show. Of course, everybody, go ahead. Keep eating. All right. Now, of course, as I was talking about, I have my Celtic shirt. Rizzo has her Celtic shirt on. I have my green cup. Why? Because it is St. Patty's Day on, I think it's Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember the exact day. I think it's Sunday. Yes. Now, yes, I'm Italian, but I have so many Irish friends. I grew up in Boston, so St. Patty's Day was a big deal. I like to stay with the food themes. The Irish, as I've said, are not always, thank you, Marisa, for jumping in there. They're not always known for their cuisine. They're known for many other things, writing poetry, opening great pubs, art, all kinds of things. Writers, they're amazing writers. But I went with a traditional, of course I put my own twist on it, because there's no way I can just make it the way that it's supposed to be made. All right, so this, what did I make? Because I actually love it. Corned beef and cabbage. So I got a nice corned beef, and I put it in the slow cooker because that is what Martha Stewart suggests, and I trust Martha Stewart. I don't usually follow recipes, but this time I was like, I don't want to do it wrong, and I'd never made it. So corned beef hash. Now, instead of just regular cabbage, because that sounded boring to me, I got red cabbage, which I love. So there's corned beef and cabbage, red cabbage, and I put carrots, celery. Instead of regular potatoes, I had to do my own twist. I put sweet potatoes so that this would be more interesting to me. They give you a little packet of stuff to rub on the corned beef, and I did that, but I had to step it up a little bit. So I put some thyme. I had to put garlic as an Italian. There's no way I can't do it. So I put some garlic in there too, and I hope it's delicious. There's mustard here because usually that's how it's served, with mustard, and it's going to be really good. And I have invited my friend Susan Campanero over to join me for dinner now. Also, this is Irish. This is Dubliner cheese, so it's vintage Irish cheddar. It is delicious, and there's a little bit sweet too, which I like. So I'm going to have this with some nice oat nut bread. That's what I'm going with. Not Italian bread. I'm staying as Irish as I can. Okay, in my Italian way. So that's that. And then I have made a salad of, I forgot the blue cheese, but, okay, so a salad of just, a lot of the Irish pubs in Boston, they always have like iceberg lettuce, and then they put a big blob of blue cheese on there. So I had to step it up a little bit. And so iceberg lettuce, of course, the little cucumbers, the cucumbers, the orange peppers. Now, you see, I have done the Irish flag here. Is any of my Irish friends noticing that? I went for the Irish flag. And I put chives in here. Okay? Chives are really big with my Irish friends. So that's that. It's going to be so good. I'm putting blue cheese on that. It's in the fridge, though. I forgot to take it up. I didn't want it to go bad. Now, Rena, my cousin Rena, who always notices everything, she is Miss Detail. Yes, you're right. You are looking at delicious cupcakes, vanilla and chocolate with green frosting, of course, for St. Patty's Day. So that is what we are eating tonight. Now, there's 10 minutes left of the show. I am going to invite my best friend, Susan Campanero, to join, because she's joining me for dinner. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
It's me.
It's Susan.
Hi.
Now, Susan,
This is such a cool show.
I know, and then I'm going to grab London in a minute. Oh, here she comes.
London, come on.
So, you know
London.
what? Here, you grab Rizzo, and I'm
London.
good. Now, I want you to talk about what we did last night, because it was so amazing.
Well, last night we honored our dear friend Trent Armand Kendall. We went to the cutting room, and Trent's longtime companion, Michael Polisi, put together a beautiful program to honor his love. And I and Maria are fortunate enough that we worked at the Duplex on Singer Spotlight Night. That's a Monday night. And back in the day, it was most of our friends were on Broadway, or they were coming up. And everyone came to the Duplex on Monday night to see Darius, myself, and Maria, and sing and hoo-ha, as we call it. And so Darius Frowner put together a Duplex Spotlight moment, which Michael Polisi wanted. And so we all were on stage just singing, as we do.
It was amazing. And you know what? When I looked at that picture, Darius Frowner, who's the musical director there and runs this Singer Spotlight Night, which we all started, we've been doing it so long. Susie, when did you start working there with Darius? The early 90s?
It would be 93.
93, and then I jumped on in 98. But you and Darius started that, and then I jumped on it. And the people that were just part of the community of singers, like I was talking about, being a community of singers, and how it starts, like Pat was talking about on a local level, and then how it just so and how we always talk about, Marisa and I talk about act globally, act locally, think globally. So we started out just as singers together there, and the singers that came out of there were Norm Lewis used to come in.
Oh yeah,
Norm Lewis, Michael Woolley,
like,
Lawrence Hamilton.
Yeah, Copathia Jenkins.
Oh my God.
Aisha DeHaas, Darius DeHaas,
Myron Lockett,
Cece Brown,
Mario
Cantone would stop by.
Jerry Dixon.
Yeah, Maurice Hines, Gregory's brother would come by.
And Trent.
And Trent. And Trent, I have to say, look, I'm going to tell this story. So Trent really was one of my favorite singers. I just loved the way he sounded, and I loved him. We had big crushes on each other. And so when my father passed, I came back to New York, and the first thing I did was I took myself on a date to Birdland and saw Trent Kendall perform with his band. That's what I did.
Brass Illusion.
Yeah.
Right. I was there last night.
I was like, what am I going to do? You know, I got to take myself out. So I put on a dress, and I went and I hung out with Trent. And the passing of Trent, I was on the train coming back from Fire Island, and I just immediately called Maria, and then we immediately called Darius and Michael. And, Michael Woolley and I put together a New Year's Day party at my house for everybody, and which maybe will be a new tradition that I'll throw a New Year's Day party. It was really beautiful. But last night was lovely. And
it really was.
And we can't say enough about, the time at the duplex. And that Michael Polisi wanted to honor that time because we would all just get together and sing.
Right.
And have a good time. It wasn't like work, although you and I were working.
We were working, but it was so much fun. And even to this day, people are always like, oh, don't you hate that they have to work nights? No, because we're performers. We love it. We love doing what we do, and that's the whole thing. You have to... But, like Trev was saying, you have your day jobs too, you have your night jobs, your day jobs. So if we could do our night jobs, perform and make money at it, it was like an amazing thing.
And everything that I do today is because of that time. I mean, I created Lavinia Draper with Darius.
Right.
And then we always were creative. I mean, the duplex spurred so much.
Also, Susie and I are writing a new show called, we did many series of comedy shows called The B is Broke, The B Don't Come Here Anymore, The B is Back Online. And they were all referring to the B train and different stops on the B train. And so we would do vignettes based on those stops of 5 different characters each. And so now we're writing a new show, and it's not called a B, it's called Track Work.
Track Work.
Because as anybody that knows the subways in New York is...
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess out there.
All they do is track work.
And so our characters are like growing and changing and going with the times, like we have.
Yeah. And some of them, we've been doing those shows since '93. So some of those characters were taken out, and then we've put some new characters in.
Yes.
So, and that's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And we're also going to start working on a short film with Krista Piero.
Right, that we're going to submit and probably be seen in the Real Recovery Film Festival.
Right.
And the day we're shooting it, I'm very honored, is April 7th. It's a very important day in my life.
It's a milestone day.
My 28th year of 24/7 living without a drink.
Which is a big deal because we're in the performing arts, and we work in bars and stuff. And same thing with me. I was telling earlier that I also am in recovery and have been since '89. So,
right.
But
me 91, and our friend Krista Piero will be our cinematographer.
Yes, and it's going to be amazing. And so we have a lot. There's so much that comes back to this. Everything that what Pat was talking about how important art is in people's lives and how it's the base of so much community. And then Trev was talking about sports. And that community, and also Pat was talking about that. It's so important, and as you get older, sometimes you lose touch with that a little bit because as you get older, you go to work, you do all these things, you have families. But really, we as adults have continued to create those communities be part of them, inject ourselves into these wonderful communities, and have these long-time friendships that are amazing.
Yeah, and create with them. Like Lynn Portis and you had your gig
Oh my
at
God,
New
that was
Leaf,
so amazing.
and now
Which, by the way, I'm meeting with them this week. We're gonna have some more gigs. I
right,
can't
it was
wait.
great. And now I have a musical where Janine Molinari is my choreographer.
Unbelievable.
And Lynn Portis composed all the music, and I'm performing it at the studio where I teach acting, the Susan Batson Studio. So, you know, when you're friends with people so long, great stuff can happen.
Great
so
stuff
it's called
can happen.
Missing Persons. Every Thursday from March 28th to April 25th.
Those are Thursdays at
Thursdays at
At
8
8.
at the Susan Batson Studio.
yeah, which is on 43rd Street, right? 311.
311 West 43rd Street. You can go to Purple Pass, www.purplepass.com/Lavinia Draper, who is me. Who knew?
Who knew?
I'm her.
You know, Leo didn't know for a long time.
What?
But sometimes we invite Lavinia and sometimes we invite Susan. So tonight, what happened was, I was doing the show and I was doing it alone, but I still wanted to cook a big corned beef, and
I love to eat.
Jimmy, how we doing? How much time?
You got a minute?
A minute, thank you.
And I love to eat.
And Susie loves to eat, so she always eats with me. Just eat with me, Susie. I
Yeah,
always say.
our new film.
Our new film. So
Just
anyway,
Eat With Me Too. You could look us up. Just Eat With Me.
if you
on
go to YouTube and type in "Just Eat with Me," Susan Campanella,
You'll
Maria
see us.
Gentile, you'll see our old film. Jimmy Bell, happy St. Patty's Day to Jimmy Bell.
Happy
He's in
St.
Boston.
Patty's.
We thank him and appreciate him. He's our engineer and producer. We love you and we thank you. Please come back next week.
Isn't Maria the best? Let's hear it for
Isn't
Maria.
Susan the best? You guys are the best. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. We love you. Happy St. Patty's Day.
It's who I am.